Somebody wrote, how can I be less judgmental? I'm getting tired of myself. I notice I'm constantly angry and a lot of conversations with other people are negative. This person realized that she has the power to change something in her mind, and she notices that whatever she's thinking is affecting her emotionally. If that is also you, then in this video, I want to offer you different shifts in perception and short exercises that will help you release the need to judge excessively. You may be concerned. If I stop judging, then for sure the thing that is wrong is not going to change. So let's leave aside for now whatever is wrong with another person or situation in your life. Let's focus now only on your inner emotional well-being. And by the way, isn't there a thing that you have been judging for years? Has it changed because you judged it? So I want to compare this inner cleanup to house cleaning. There's such a difference in between walking into a clean house where everything has its place, there's harmony, and walking into a house where there's a lot of mess and dirt. The difference is huge. In the dirty house, you immediately feel anxious and agitated. Our mind is the house we live in. We take our head with us wherever we go, and it's important that it feels good. The reason we want to let go of excessive judgment is because you form these negative statements in your mind about somebody else. You are the one that is experiencing the negative emotions that are coming from those judgments. The wave of negative emotions is flowing through your body, your energy system. How to be less judgmental and feel better. That's the title. And the first thing we need to do is to let go of the shame. Maybe you notice that you judge excessively. You may be in a company of people who are very positive, maybe too positive, and you simply notice that contrast between them and you. Or maybe you judge somebody unfairly, and now you feel ashamed because of it. And then you judge yourself for judging. And then you judge yourself for judging yourself because you have heard that it's not good to judge yourself. So you can't escape this cycle in any other way than just dropping it. Simply let that go. And let the shame go as well. The last thing the world needs is another person that feels ashamed and is hiding. You are not going to create anything positive from shame. So allow yourself to just let it go. Let go of shame because it's natural to judge. We all do this. This is a function of our survival brain. It's natural to go through the day and judge situations. So the positive sister of judgment is assessment and discernment. We assess, is it too fast or too slow? Is it too hot or too cold? Should I let that person in or not? And this serves us. Can you see this? When you judge something outside of you, maybe it's because you feel there's the threat to your survival in the situation being as it is. Everybody judges. Some people are just not sharing it openly, and some people are more relaxed because they have already done the work of letting go and paying attention to what really matters and what really they can influence. So it's a natural function of our human brain. The only problem is that sometimes we do this excessively. We go overboard with it and we create a mental habit out of this judgment. But mental habits are created and they can also be undone. If you are somebody who practices meditation or mindfulness, you will know exactly what it is about. It is about being present and staying aware and noticing what comes to your mind. Hey, there is this judgmental thought that just came to my mind. I don't have to engage in it. I can notice that thought, label it as judgment or an opinion, and let it go. Don't engage in it. You may think about this as forming a path. If you are in the field and you are walking, if you were to walk that path many times, it's going to be visible. Nothing will grow there. So what we want to do, if that is the path of judgment, what we want to do, we want to avoid that area. Yes, there is an invitation from your habitual brain to judge, step on that path, but you will stay conscious and aware and just not go that path. Walk somewhere else or stay where you are. It reminds me of an opinion diet. Eliminate opinions from your mental diet for a day or two or a week. They will keep coming back, but if you send them away, you will feel so much lighter. Forgive yourself. Self-forgiveness is a method that is not utilized enough in our self-development, personal development, and it is super powerful. How do you forgive yourself? The simplest way to forgive yourself is to sit in a quiet place and take in a few breaths like you would in meditation and saying, I forgive myself for. Honor yourself for creating that space and say, I forgive myself for judging. I forgive myself for judging excessively. I forgive myself for judging myself. And create space after these affirmations, after these intentions. And let that shift happen within you. Another point is change the lens. Change the lens through which you see the person or the situation. If we are judging somebody and it's super negative, that means that we are looking at that person through very negative, dark lens. But if you set an intention to change that lens through which you see the person to a lens of light, love, kindness, and compassion, it will affect your judgment. It will be less harsh. Maybe it will simply dissolve. I believed for a long time that when you truly know everything about somebody, it is impossible to judge. In point number 7, I would use prayer for that. Whether you pray or not, you can pray to the space. Help me to change the lens through which I see this person. Remember that you are not only benefiting the other person, you are benefiting yourself and your emotional well-being. Point number 8, avoidance. Isn't it possible that you are avoiding certain feelings so you would rather judge and feel the anger that comes from that judgment? If you let go of judgment, what's left? If you accept the situation as something that simply exists, accept that this is how it is now, maybe you will no longer feel anger. You will have to feel sadness, disappointment, powerlessness. And those emotions are much more difficult to experience. That's why often people would rather go to the negative emotions, more explosive emotions, because they are more reactive. How can the function of judgment benefit me? I already mentioned that a positive system of judgment is assessment and discernment. Now, it's also having a critical mind, the ability to think critically. In every shadow, there is a gift. And this is how I want to look at it. You have the ability to think critically, to assess, to discern. you can absolutely use it to create positive change in your life. And there are actually many professions where we have to see what's wrong in order to correct it. Think about your dentist. The dentist has to look into your mouth, see what's wrong, and correct it. You actually want that to happen. In coaching, what we do is when I listen to somebody, I listen for the brain errors, for the limiting beliefs. Something doesn't land. I notice that this belief is making this person sabotage their goals. So I use my judgment and point it to them in a loving way. And there are so many more professions where we use judgment to improve something. There's one more thing I want to mention, because maybe I will record another video about judgment as it relates to the human design. But for now, let's just go over everything that we have done. So in order to be less judgmental, you want to let go of the shame. You want to let go of the self-judgment, because this tendency of the brain is natural. It is natural for us to judge and assess situations. This is how we survive. This is simply, but sometimes it turns into a mental habit that is excessive. And the way we undo the habit is through being present to our mind, letting go of that invitation to judgment, invitation that comes from your habitual brain, from your subconscious brain to judge. You are letting it go by being mindful. And meditation is helpful in this case. So that was also point number 4. And it ties into our opinion diet. When you go through the day and you form opinions on the go, just let them go. You will feel so much lighter. Forgive yourself for the judgments that are running through your head. Use EFT technique if you like it. Change the lens through which you see the world, other people, yourself, from the judgmental to the loving lens. Be honest with yourself. Are you avoiding other uncomfortable emotions like personal responsibility or feelings like sadness, and you would rather judge and feel the anger or blame just because you are avoiding something important? So be honest with yourself and think about this. Appreciate your mind's ability to assess and think critically, and use the gift of judgment to your benefit and to the benefit of those around you. Thank you so much for watching. I know it was a lot, but I hope that you will find this one practice that will help you feel lighter and better about yourself. If you liked it, subscribe and share this video with somebody who can benefit. See you in the next one.